Yeah, we're here in Moscow for Victory Day, 80 years since the defeat of the Nazis. And I think it's very important to look at the history of what happened in World War II, because Hitler didn't come out of thin air. The Nazis didn't come out of thin air. They were backed and funded by a lot of the same American and British families that are backing the Zionist entity today and backing neocolonial interests in Africa and backing these, criminal, in some cases terrorist political movements in Latin America today. So there's a common line between all of this. But in World War II, we had a beautiful thing that occurred. We had a lot of American troops, but many more Soviet troops from the Red Army. 27 million, if memory serves correct, who sacrificed their lives to defeat the Nazis. And unfortunately, they didn't get all of them. A lot of them went to Canada, a lot of them went to Argentina. But ultimately, we saw something that I think is possible again, and that's the average people in so many countries, the working class people who rose up to put an end to this madness. And you look at what's happening today, whether it's in Russia, whether it's escalation against China, whether it's in Africa with trying to overthrow these revolutionary governments in the Sahel region, whether it's the attempts to overthrow President Maduro or President Ortega in Nicaragua, or whether it's the attempts to exterminate the Palestinian people or the Yemeni people, or destroy the resistance in Lebanon or in Iran. Average people, and I say average, they're really the heroes. It's people that are doing the research and putting their lives on the line and their jobs on the line to speak out and to say enough of this madness, enough of this Western imperialism, enough of this warmongering, enough of the war crimes. And they're standing up just like our grandfathers or our great-grandfathers did in World War II to put an end to the terrorist entity that was Nazi Germany. We're told that the Soviet Red Army were a bunch of criminals and rapists, but they're the ones that liberated the world. If it wasn't for the Red Army, a lot of Europe would be, goose-stepping and Sieg-Heiling and speaking German. So I think that we need to look back at that history in the same way that the CIA says that they were criminals, the Red Army were criminals, they were bad people. They say the same thing about the resistance against Western imperialism all across the world today. And also, in the same way, we can look back at this historic day and understand that the resistance will be victorious and will defeat the same terrorists that embody the vision and the spirit and the satanic nature of Nazi Germany back 80 years ago.